haven't changed too much other than getting physical, adding some bumps into the rotation. Meanwhile, for the Soniqs, we need to see those mechanics out of J-Russ and Shock. And now T-Corral coming here. These guys actually all three. Then now that I think about it a little bit more, the mechanics on this roster, so much potential. It's going to be a close one, James.
Yeah, it's the potential of this Soniqs team. And it's one reason why you can't sleep on them. Chat predicting heavily G2, but this one certainly could be much closer.
I mean, even for the grid, G2 average, what was it? I think 10 shots per game in the first week of the grid, which is unreal. I mean, 10 shots for your team each individual game. That's a lot of offensive pressure you got to hold on to if you're the other team.
Early on, G2 holding some possession, forcing the Soniqs to play out of their own corner. Challenge from Chicago, and that touch from J-Russ was a big one. T-Corral, oh, that's not the greatest pass. Was looking to get it to Shock.
Yeah.
Almost gave away that shot opportunity to G2.
My goodness, right away you can already see G2 are destroying the backboard. Every single hit is just shoved into the corner, hit high off the backboard. Now J-Naps the double tap, Shirley's gonna hit it. He actually, maybe a fake calculation, and Rizzo that can't get the 50. Still a bit messy on defense. This is just overwhelming pressure for Soniqs.
Has the ball left the Soniqs half yet? I'm not sure. There, finally.
This is why it was 90%, man. This is why Twitch chat knows best, okay?
You know, that's questionable, but I'll say maybe you're right. Soniqs, though, now getting a chance on offense before Rizzo gets the hard clear down. J-Naps, the shot. Turned aside by T-Corral. Infield pass. Rizzo off the crossbar and in. That was a banger.
We were just waiting for it. And this is why they put on so many shots, because eventually you'll find that one gap in the midfield where you have so many predictable hits off the backboard. Soniqs doesn't know where you're going to go with it. You have one simple little pass out of the mid. It's an easy cleanup. Rizzo is there for the finish. Top corner down. This is classic G2 Esports.
And I even like that that cut in front of the defender. We saw there was someone in net. J-Naps driving in front of them to make sure that they'd get to that challenge slowly. So G2, they really are such a great team in terms of the synergy, working together. You know, a lot of times you see teams go for the solo plays, try to take matters into their own hands individually, but G2 really does take that team approach.
Well, and they've been continuously improving as well with their play style. I think the more they've added demos, the better it's gotten. And we're not seeing them push up too much. Ooh. Meanwhile, Soniqs, who are a little bit too aggressive, the last man back doesn't have a touch on this ball, and it's just going to float in.
Yeah, this one, a bit unforgivable there for Shock.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, it's so much time and full boost. Perhaps surprised at the roll around, but that is definitely one you have to get.
I feel like against G2, you're so easy to panic like that as well, because you put on a huge defensive performance. You're handling so many shots. Now demos from Rizzo. Whenever the game finally slows down, you don't know how to handle it because you're just expecting an onslaught of shots.
And we're already seeing an onslaught of shots. Rizzo, 2 goals on 5 shots. 6 total for G2. And the dunk from Rizzo, narrowly missing his hat trick. Shock clears up field to Jay. Jay trying to bump Rizzo, did get the pass. This one will be off the ceiling and down. Rizzo stretching for the clear. Shock low boost, can't get to that ball. Now T-Corral will wrap around.
Nice
Wanted to get that pass to Jay, but Rizzo thinking that step ahead.
Oh my goodness. It's so fast. J-Naps in the corner. He was able to get it off the backboard instantly. You think he's going to go for a shot, but instead opts for the pass. Demo's out from Shock, and it's not enough to break the defense. Rizzo, does he have any boost in the tank? He actually doesn't even matter because the shot was too slow to rotate it in. While Soniqs do have some offensive pressure, it's not enough. Somebody's there for an answer, and G2 hold on.
You know, some people are masters of mechanics, you know?
Yeah.
but Rizzo, he has a doctorate in big brain plays. I love watching Rizzo play. It's not always about mechanics. And Rizzo, he's got them, right? But he's a thinking man.
Yeah. Well, you can even see him thinking about the play there. The ball floated above his net. And you know he has the awareness as there's nobody coming in for the shot. I'm just going to hit the brakes. I don't need to do anything. Why would I try and exert so much energy? That's what we love about Rizzo, the efficiency.
G2 smothering the Soniqs. They're approaching their 10-shot average, currently sitting at 9. 10th coming right here, and it's in. Man. Rizzo with the hat trick.
Of course he's got to get the hat trick. The man we were talking about, not, the greatest mechanics, but when you need him to step up to the plate, he is a insane striker. That is somebody you don't want to mess
I just want to disassociate myself from the statement that Rizzo does not have the greatest mechanics.
I'm not saying no.
You. That's on you.
Okay.
No, you said that. You said that.
No, you were making the implication that it wasn't the best mechanics, which is
but
true.
Rizzo
isn't. You think Rizzo's out here freestyling on him, James? Is that what you're saying?
No, I said that. All my point is that it's not solely about mechanics. Rizzo is more than just mechanics. That was my point.
Okay, you're right. I apologize. I hope I didn't offend anybody, any of the fans of Rizzo, because he stepped up here in the first game. A hat trick to his name. G2 go up 1-0.
That was quite the game from G2, Turtle. Really, from the beginning, the first minute and a half, the ball did not even leave the Soniqs half.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the game they want to play. They want to put on as many shots as they can. Getting 11 shots here in the first game. Soniqs shut out. We barely saw them get past the midfield line. And again, I'll say it. That's what I love about G2 is the mix-up. They're not trying to always go for the midfield passes anymore. They're utilizing the backboard. You'll see a lot of these plays start from somebody hammering it against the backboard, then somebody cuts in for a midfield pass. That type of variety in the offense is what's so important for G2.
Yeah, and also you can't forget about the mistake from Shock. That one play, that was forgettable for the Soniqs. So all around tough game one for the Soniqs. We'll see how they bounce back in game two, and they're going to need to. G2, we'll see if they're continuing to get that many shots. It really is something else when you are able to put that many shots on target.
And even when Shock made the mistake, I'm still happy to see him back on the field. I think whenever he wasn't on the starting lineup, I was a bit confused, but he can make an impact whenever he wants to step up. And as I mentioned him, I feel responsible for this. I pressured him. Rizzo with the cleanup, and Shock another mistake.
And Shock.
Oh, no.
Did he get bumped as well?
I don't think so.
Or did he?
I don't think so.
What happened there?
I don't know. I think he thought somebody else was going to hit it from Soniqs, and then the clear did come out. He just left in no man.
Flips out of the way. So it is tough defensive day so far for Shock. Perhaps slept on the wrong side of the bed.
It's just because you pointed it out earlier, James. He might be listening, might be feeling bad now. He's got to get out of his own head, and you can stop that easily. I mean, Shock be a little bit more aggressive once he gets that first goal. Who the Soniqs, they haven't even gotten on the board yet, actually. So anything.
I mean, no one's gotten on the board except Rizzo. Let's be clear.
The man who apparently I roasted his mechanics with as the guy with the hat trick.
The only player to score so far has been Rizzo, and he's been doing a lot of it.
Yeah.
D. Carell can get the tap. JNAP's infield to Chicago. Chicago wanted that backward bounce. Shock was smart to not let that happen. J. Russ looking for the pass. It does pinch out to him. Not much boost off the ceiling, though. Will have the shot. Chicago close on his heels, though. Nice backward pass. If that's on target, that's in.
Wow. We even saw some speed off the backboard too for Soniqs. That should have been one that was followed up. Shock cut in really early and then just missed the target as he beat out Rizzo, I think it was, the last man back.
Oh, I thought Rizzo was about to hit another highlight play. Double tap broken up. Chicago couldn't get to that ball. Shock with the miss. Carell will pop it up for J. Russ. J. Russ gets demoed, and Rizzo will get the save. G2, they're not as dominant as they were in game one, but they're still keeping the Soniqs down. However, the backboard's starting to show some gaps.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot more aggression, too, from everyone on Soniqs. You see Shock pushing up into the midfield. He's got some creative plays up his sleeve as well. The pinch off the ceiling, a nice little attempt. This one's fast and still a clear. That's one thing I've noticed as well. The reads, the overhead reads off the backboard. I think we saw J. Russ earlier get a massive clear. Now still making quality reads across the pitch and keeping possession forward.
Soniqs having a nice stint of possession right now. Chicago leaves that for Rizzo. Now Chicago rotates in. JNaps will get it upfield. Good defense from G2. Now scoring opportunity. JNaps will put that ball wide.
Close attempt there for G2. Careful on the counterattacks, but this is where they want to get you. Just sink into that defensive style where you're trying to get it clear. You won't find anybody up. You're panicking a bit. J-Russ now out of position. The panic does come out. All this space given to G2, and of course, it's Rizzo still scoring all the goals.
And right now, Rizzo up significantly over the Soniqs. Just Rizzo.
Just Rizzo.
Just Rizzo.
Nobody else, literally.
And he's a shooter. There's no denying that. And does it not take mechanics to hit the ball so well, so many times?
Look, I never said it doesn't take mechanics. I mean, let's say this. Rizzo isn't the flashiest player, but he's got some pretty darn good mechanics.
Yeah, it's knowing when to use them, you know?
Yes, exactly. Which I would argue easily is much more of an important aspect, obviously. You want to have somebody who's got some flash to throw the defense off, but the rock of a team is going to be somebody who has that style of Rizzo where he's consistent. The striking, always there when you need him, and he can even go in for those demos and get the extra work in.
You know, Rizzo, he boosts softly, but he carries a big bumper, and he knows how to use it.
Bars.
G2 trying to hold on to this 2-goal lead. The Soniqs still have not managed to score. This could be a chance, however. Rizzo will fake shock out and take it across the goal line. Rizzo, so bold.
And the fact that he has the confidence to go for that and the awareness, too. We mentioned that in the first game where, you know, he's fine with taking a few seconds to let the ball drop, control it himself, because he is always aware of where the other team is trying to be, where they're rotating, now can cut off the pass, move forward. He has just been a beast so far for G2.
Shock has T. Carell upfield. Chicago denies the backward bounce. T. Carell gets beat to the ball as well. J-Russ trying to get it down Main Street. J-Russ with full boost, missed the touch. T. Carell comes in to back up. Gonna have to see something very soon from the Soniqs if they hope to pull this one back. That's a good start. Shock will center to J-Russ. J-Russ with space. And that double tap was a bit too far over. I think if he goes more towards the center of the backboard, had a better chance at getting that bounce to take place.
Still, we're only just seeing solo plays out of the Soniqs. It's the final 10 seconds. You'd think they'd have to win game 2 to have any momentum. A reverse sweep against G2, who look to be on form, and the beast that is Rizzo in this series alone, something you don't want to be reverse sweeping. It's going to be difficult. This one going to drop down. G2 now up 2-0 in the series, James. Do you think the reverse sweep for Soniqs is even possible at this point?
I mean, you have to get through Rizzo.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah, that's it. With how he's been performing.
That's just what it seems like right now. The Soniqs still have not managed to score. We've gone 2 straight games now, getting shut out, and Rizzo has been shooting quite nicely. And G2 overall looking in form. 7 shots this time, so a bit under. And the Soniqs did have some shots as well, and they started to get some backboard bounces. That I think was something that we started seeing them make progress on, but they just could not connect. And Shock did have a scoring opportunity as well. Yeah. And he wasn't able to hit it. So it's just been not the best day.
I'm just curious how the comms are for Soniqs, because especially for Shock, what's his mentality at right now? Because this is now, or that was, excuse me, the second game where he had made a mistake. The first one we saw something similar where he just pretty much gave away a free goal, couldn't get a touch. Same thing happened in game 2. Now coming into game 3, he missed that opportunity to give them a chance. How is he going to bounce back? We know Shock has a lot of potential, a lot of mechanics even alone. We've seen him be the MVP, so much responsibility. How will he perform now against G2 trying to get this first sweep?
We will find out. Rizzo almost scores that one. That would have been a start. Chicago will get this one. Another member of G2 getting on the score sheet.
They don't give him any time to recover. This is J-Russ who just got the save, and he's thinking, I just got the save. I'm trying to leave net and get some boost. But instead, he needs to stay in net because his rotations with his teammates, they're too slow. G2 are just starving them left and right with every boost pad. It's too much, and G2 go up again within the first few seconds.
That's that boost that can be killer. We saw J-Russ positioning as if he expected T. Carell to get a touch, but T. Carell was nowhere close to challenging that ball. And now another block coming out from JNaps in G2. T. Carell. That's not the best hit. But JNaps has good backup, and J-Russ now way overcommitted. Rizzo flinging that from one corner to the other for the Soniqs. Chicago wins it around. T. Carell back to the corner. Shock in reverse. Will poke it by Rizzo. JNaps pass off the wall to Chicago. Chicago was looking to go back to JNaps.
Oh. And it would have been a clean play as well because Rizzo had just gotten the bump on the third man rotating in. So that play would have been wide open for a shot on net. Unfortunately, the pass didn't connect. But you see the plays that G2 are going to develop. Not as many solo shots, I'd say, for Rizzo. He had a couple of chances here. Still looking strong. And that midfield boost control, always in possession of G2.
Feed from Chicago.
Wow.
Backboard read. Rizzo doesn't fail. The second goal now for G2.
It's this speed. Look at how fast Chicago is up in the air. Shock had tried to find any contact on the ball. He just needed to get a touch, throw off that initial hit, but Chicago, too speedy to bounce it off the backboard. G2, this is a different league that they're in compared to Soniqs in every department. And the speed, the boost control, the possession, the way they're trying to control it. Soniqs have no answer to any of it.
And they will need to dig deep. We are in perfect sweep territory.
Rizzo. I can't remember the last time we saw a perfect sweep, actually. Now that you mention it, it's been a while.
It's rare. It's rare. This type of performance where you can manage to shut a team out, a professional Rocket League, 3 games in a row or more. It's a 7-game series. You don't see it that often, and right now, G2 playing that well.
I think a lot of people critique the G2 offense as well for having major flaws in their rotations for, big clears to come out, but we haven't seen that so far in this series where they've been too far forward. Everything looking really clean. J-Russ got the demo, but you can see his teammates scrambling a bit to get to clear out, but there is space. What's T-Carell going to do with it? The pass across to J-Russ. It's not enough. Rizzo, the interception. So smart yet again.
Rebound out to Chicago. Hard shot. T. Carell. Big save. That'll keep things within the realm of possibility for the Soniqs. But they must score, and they must score soon. T. Carell off the backboard. J-Russ saves on the goal line. Shock. First touch control. Got denied immediately. T. Carell will swerve around. JNaps. It's a good shot. And J-Russ again gets there just in time.
Yeah, and he barely rotated in because Rizzo, just like that, is bumping him every opportunity he gets. Now, JNaps going for a bump. The mid-air strike. G2, it is just too much to handle.
JNaps gets the hard pass off the backboard, and that was dead center.
Oh, my goodness. That's so frustrating. He's going to get the save, and JNaps will just snipe you out of the air.
Shock got the wind knocked out of him there.
Wow.
G2 are pummeling the Soniqs.
Another one.
And it keeps getting piled on.
I mean, Twitch chat, 90%, 89%, I think it was. This is a reflection of that, to say the least. Not even a single goal. That, I'm telling you, that is so rare. Not one mistake out of G2 Esports. There was, I think, one chance so far that I can remember for Soniqs last game where Shock had that attempt on net. It was just a little bit too far wide. That was the only one I can think of reflecting on the series.
Shock flip reset opportunity, but it didn't look like he got it off cleanly. G2, what a day they've been having. I mean, we were just coming off the version 1 Space Station series, where we were not expecting version 1 to have a chance. Turtle, you predicted it. And now we see this series. We hear about the victory that the Soniqs had over G2 in the grid, but it's tough to imagine that scenario taking place with how dominant G2 has been.
Well, and with the last series representing, how fragile some teams can be depending on their performance of the day, even if they are a top North American team. To come out here, you expect Soniqs maybe to bring a fight to G2, but this is just a representation of how dominant G2 have been as of late. They did make it to the grand finals in the first week of the grid, have some momentum there. I believe they lost to NRG in Game 7, but overall, there's the first one. It's not a perfect sweep. The Soniqs get one.
Yeah, and I was watching that series as well, G2 against NRG. It was a close Game 7 series. G2 has been playing excellent Rocket League lately, and even in this series, even though it was so one-sided, it still is. It's exciting to watch teams that are just great team players. You know, players that are teams that can get these passing plays, the demos. They're so tight on their rotations, passes when you don't expect it. G2, an excellent series. Rizzo, undoubtedly the MVP.
I don't think anybody can even question Rizzo's placement now on the team after seeing this performance and how he fits in the play style. With his striking and also the patience on defense to let certain clears and pinches from the corner fly across the net. He was always aware of where everybody from the Soniqs was positioned, and he knew how to exploit that going forward with the transition. So Rizzo, hats off to him. Chicago JNAP's doing the usual passing plays and the striking to set up Rizzo. At the end of the day, this was just the classic G2 and the perfect, ideal, I guess, performance from them whenever you think about G2 and how they can perform.
Yeah, I mean, you think of the G2, it's still tough to imagine that a team as good as G2 was once in the relegation tournament in the old format.
Crazy.
And to see them just continue to rise and perform season after season, tournament after tournament, and not only get wins, but look great doing it. This was not just a casual win. They clobbered them. They clobbered the Soniqs this game. Clearly the better team out there today. So G2 will be moving on. We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, more RLCS winner split.